Hey everybody, Squirrel Dev here, back here again. Today I will be showing you guys a new method to capture the network traffic of Android apps. This will make development of the liberated DX2 and ArcShift servers a heck of a lot easier for me. This is the reason it'll make it a lot easier is because I tend to do development on apps that are still active. Their servers are still running, and as such, the games will often have updates from time to time. Well, I'm just going to get right into the tutorial. This is from a fresh Windows 10 installation. Very little has been done to it. So let's go ahead and get started. So what you want to do is right-click on your desktop, and you should see Open in Terminal. And you see how it's so fresh. I don't even have my usual background. So you open in Terminal, and wait for it to load, PowerShell, and you type WSL space -- install. And it will ask for administrative privileges. You just click yes. And it will ask for them twice. And now you just wait for it to install. And I will be back here when it's done. Alright, I am back. This is after a reboot, by the way. What will happen is the system will ask you to do a reboot, and you say yes. Or actually, you just reboot the computer manually. It doesn't ask you. It just tells you it'll only work for the reboot. Unfortunately, I couldn't record that part because something went wrong with my software. But in any event, after it's rebooted, I didn't touch anything. It'll say, like, Ubuntu is installed, launching Ubuntu, installing, and then it'll ask for a Unix username. You can type whatever you want. This will be what your Linux, your Ubuntu, whatever username will be. So I will type squirrel, and it'll ask for a password. Once the password prompt pops up. And it'll ask for a password. Please note that the password will not show up when you type it. This is specific to Linux. This is a security measure. It is normal. So you just type the new password, and if the passwords match, it'll say password updated successfully, installation successful, and once you see a green prompt, you're all good. Now keep this open. What you want to do is you want to go, and I will include this link in the description. But you want to find this repo, Magisk on WSA local on GitHub. And let me copy this. And you want to type git space clone space and this command. And I will leave this command in the description. Enter. CD Magisk on WSA local. And then what I want to do is /scripts/run.sh. And it'll ask for the password you made earlier. So make sure you have that memorized. You will need it for all future interactions with this particular Linux installation. And it will install everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause recording, and I'll be back after it's done installing everything. Alright, and whenever it's finished installing everything, it'll go to this pink screen with this background, whatever. And it'll say, welcome to Magisk on WSA. Press the keys in the order I tell you to. Enter. Make sure Ed64 is selected. Enter. Retail. Enter. Root. Yes. Enter. Magisk. Enter. Stable. Enter. Install GApps. Yes. Keep Amazon App Store. This is your choice. I personally select no. enter. Compress output, make sure you select no, enter. And it will do its thing. And it will download the WSA from Microsoft, and then it will modify it with whatever it needs to do. This can take a while. I will pause recording here again, and I will be back when it's done. Alright, it is now finished. You can tell it's finished whenever it goes back to that green prompt with the blue after it. So now, what you want to do is you simply exit this and go to down here in your Explorer. You'll see a new section, usually under Network. It's called Linux. You go to Ubuntu, Home, whatever you named your user, Magisk on WSA Local. You go to Output, right here, Control C, and then you go to your C drive, Control V. It's just a copy and paste the folder. And you just wait for it to finish. Alright, now that it's finished copying, what I usually do is rename it WSA, all caps. This is just to keep me from accidentally deleting this folder. Because once you do this next step, you do not want to delete this folder. So you go into the folder, scroll down until you find a file called Run, and you simply double click it. And it may ask for administrative privileges, it may not, but you just want to wait until it's done. I'm just going to put this up here. Yep, there it goes, asking me for administrative privileges. Click yes. And it may take a little bit as well here, so there we go. All done. Press any key to exit. I don't know where the any key is, so I'm just going to press spacebar. In any event, here you just do whatever you want. I usually don't because this is a custom. But it will start up the Windows subsystem for Android. Now what I do is I usually go to Start, All Apps, and you go see here this is the Windows subsystem for Android. Click it. It will open up its settings. When you go to Advanced, Developer Mode, make sure this is on. You also want to go to Memory and Performance, Continuous, and Experimental Features, Share User Folders. Make sure this is on. And it says here, finishing system update. That's good. But you want to make sure Share User Folders is on, and you can change the folder that it shares to. So I am going to... Actually, nah, I won't change it. If it says you want to allow public and private networks to access this app, click Allow. I'm just going to cancel that there. And yeah, Google Play Store launched. We don't care about that right now. So once that is done, you go to System, Turn Off. And this turns off the system and allows you to reboot it when you launch another app. And the reason you want to turn it off is to apply any changes. So now what you want to do is you want to get MITM proxy. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description. MITMproxy.org. I'm going to leave a link to the website in the description. You get it however you want. I got the portable apps version here. And I got it saved here as MITM Web. Because that's the version we're using is MITM Web. And what you want to do is you want to get a Windows tool from the Microsoft Store called WSA Tools. This allows you to install APKs. This is not completely required, but it makes things a heck of a lot easier. So we're going to get it. Also, the WSA Tools installation also installs ADB, which is required. So it's more like we're killing two birds with one stone. And so it's a relatively small app. There we go. We're just going to open it from here. Click Install an APK. ADB is missing. Click Install. And then select Folder. And I usually put it in C. Oh wait, oops. I'll put it in C, New Folder, ADB. Install ADB here. And then it says when it says load APK over here, we're done. We know ADB is installed. So we can exit WSA Tools. Now comes a somewhat difficult part. You'll want to launch any Android app. Just go to the Play Store. Okay, I was just making sure Magic is installed. But once Play Store is loaded, or the Android app you chose is loaded, we can go on to the next step. This is just to start up. There we go. Minimize that. Right click. Actually, sorry. First, you go to wherever your Explorer window is. C, ADB. And you right click in that empty space. Open in Terminal. Type CMD to go down to a regular command prompt. And you type ADB devices. And if it doesn't show anything, then type this. ADB connect 127.0.0.1 colon 58526. It'll say failed to authenticate, but you'll see here it says allow ADB debugging. Click always allow from this computer and allow. And now click ADB devices again, and it should pop up 127.0.0.1 colon 58526. That's good. Now, what you want to do is you want to start up MITM web or MITM proxy. So I just clicked it. We're waiting for it to launch. Do. If it says you want to allow private and public access networks to this app, click allow. Now, what you want to do is you want to go to your Windows settings, search proxy, change proxy settings, use a proxy server, first click off, then manual proxy server, setup, on 127.0.0.1, and the port is 8080. Do not use this proxy server for local addresses. You can check or uncheck. It doesn't really matter. I usually check it. But you just click save. Well, actually, you do want to check that. My bad. So you want to make sure this is checked. And we'll minimize that. Then we'll go over here to File, Install Certificates. Scroll down to Android. show instructions, and want to go to alternatively, if you have rooted the device and have Magisk installed, you can install this Magisk module. So click, and we'll save. Just save it to this PC, C, users, Nates, which is where I set my Android app for the shared Windows folder. You want to navigate to wherever your shared Windows folder is. And once that is done, you can go to MITM, Magisk, and click OK. And it will quote-unquote reboot. What it's going to do is it's going to restart the Windows subsystem for Android. Now I want to go to Modules, Install from Storage, go over here to the hamburger menu. If you didn't know what that was called, by the way, it's called hamburger menu. Pixel 5, Windows, and tap that or click that MITM proxy Magisk module zip. Click OK. And then just simply back out. Make sure this is there. Good. So now exit out of the subsystem. And what you want to go to is Windows Subsystem for Android. Turn off. And the reason we're doing this is to simulate a reboot. And there is a reason why we didn't click that reboot notification. Actually, the only reason I didn't click is because I couldn't really catch it in time. But we're going to relaunch Magisk. This is important. We want to make sure the module is still installed. Some versions of WSA and Magisk combinations don't like it when the subsystem is rebooted, because sometimes the module will just uninstall itself. But we want to make sure this module is installed. All this module does is allow system traffic to be captured. So modules, and good, our MITM proxy cert is installed. So that is good. So now, let's go to our settings, edit, turn off the proxy server, save, and we can exit our settings now. Now we can right click. Oh wait, sorry. Go back to that terminal we had earlier with ADB. Do ADB devices again to make sure it's connected. It should still be connected. I'm just going to clear, or CLS, my bad. There we go. Now what you want to do is you want to type ipconfig, ipconfig, enter. And it'll list a bunch of IP addresses. You want to look for whatever you're using to connect to the internet, and it'll usually be a 192.168.0. something. It might be .1. something, but usually it's a .0. Anyway, now that we have that, we want to type adb shell settings put global http underscore proxy 192.168.0.15. Do not press enter yet. What we will do first is we will go to the Google Play Store and download an app. I am going to pause here while I sign into my Google Play account. Okay, I have signed into my Google Play account. Now we want to install an app. So I'll just do Shin Megami Tensei DX2. And the reason we did not press enter is because sometimes the Google Play Store will refuse to work whenever it's typed up, like whenever it's connected to the proxy. So we want to make sure that the proxy is not connected whenever MITM, whenever we run Google Play Store. But now let's go to that MITM page, and I'm going to file clear all, delete all flows, okay, and I'm going to exile that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that command prompt. Now press enter. Now we're going to minimize. And we're going to play. And I am going to, there we go. That way it doesn't hurt my ears. Up, I gotta make sure desktop audio is muted. There we go. That way it's not hurting your ears. But we'll click, which is to tap the screen. But you will notice that now it is capturing the Android app data. Whereas before, what you had to do is you had to modify the app in order to capture that data. Now, it just simply lets you. So, you can just simply go through and play the game as normal if you wanted to. And you don't have to worry about things like modifying the APK and all that. So, as you can see here, it's capturing everything. It's got, it's there we go. I'm looking for something that's like a JSON. Does a JSON return? There we go. Yeah, this one does a JSON return. And you can see it captures all that, even though it's HTTPS. So it's decrypting HTTPS on the fly. And yeah, so that's all there really is to it. And this will allow me to update everything. I'm just closing everything out here. Now, this is also an important command. If you ever want to turn off the proxy for any reason, make sure to always do this. You type ADB shell settings, put global HTTP_proxy :0. Enter. And that will reset the proxy to normal. Make sure you do that. Otherwise, the Google Play Store or whatever might get caught up in MITM proxy. And if MITM proxy, for whatever reason, is not running when you have that first command in, everything will fail. So you always make sure that the :0 is put unless you want to be capturing data. Hopefully this helps you guys on your own network packet capturing journeys as well. It's certainly going to help me a lot more. So this is Squirrel Dev. I'm signing out.